Welcome to our Tuesday's Technology Tip. Today we have Aaron Pruitt from Mabry Middle School. He is going to show us a program called Tinkercad. At this time, Aaron is going to share with us.
Tinkercad is a 3D rendering software that allows you to create objects in a 3D environment. It also allows you to save certain objects that you've created and put them in your toolbox so that you can pull out later. This is better for younger students because they don't have to create from a coordinate system. When you have to create from a coordinate system, you're doing a lot heavier algebraic equations and you have to have a lot more geometry knowledge. With this program, we're starting at the very basics where they can drag a shape in, they can change that shape into different things, but they can also cut away and make more complex shapes. Why it's been helpful in my class is we're teaching an engineering class called Gateway to Technology, which has a lot of engineering principles built in. Last semester, we did a sustainable house project, and what was so helpful was they were able to create parts of it, save it, and then add in or copy and paste later on back into their project. I think another thing that's helpful is a website called Thingiverse that we found, and it has pre-created 3D objects. People like to 3D print and stuff, so they're able to bring those products over and import them into this Tinkercad. And so like bricks or 2x6s or 2x4s, they can get copies of those pre-made, drag them into their environment, and then just start duplicating and placing them where they need to place them.
Okay, so this sounds like an interesting program, Tinkercad. So we're going to have Aaron at this time share the program with us.
Here we are in Tinkercad, and what we have is a regular box, a 20 millimeter by 20 millimeter box. Now you can work in millimeters or inches, and you can change the amount of movement that your box or other object has. Over to the right hand side, you can see various shapes and even text that you can bring in. The interesting part about Tinkercad and what makes it so successful for young students to use is you can drag invisible type boxes over into your environment, and then you can group those two things together. So you have to select both and then come up and click the group button, and it cuts the piece out of the other object. Now I can take that object and move it around to anywhere I want to, including tilting at angles and changing how it sits. Also, if you found out that you want to add something onto a plane that is at an angle, you go up and you can grab a new work plane and you drag it down to the angle that you want it to be at, like on top of that. Now I can build on top of this plane. This creates a new level. You can go beyond basic instruction with this, and then you can start doing high level things, especially when you're talking about building sustainable houses or objects that you want to 3D print later on. One way that I found this to be super helpful is by starting off with a basic tutorial, but then letting the students really play around with the software and figuring out what's best for them. Again, you can make really complex objects by using the cutaway boxes. And then if you want to store those, you come over and go to Part Collection, and then you go to Capture New Part, and it will add it to your inventory. And then you can go back to creating like before. And this is a preview of that saved part.
So thank you for sharing with us today, Aaron. This seems like a very interesting program, and I look forward to exploring it even more. Please remember, if you have any tech tips that you would like for me to address, or if you are willing to share a tech tip, just send me an email. I hope you have a great week.